What if I told you that one of the world's most wanted fugitives convinced millions of people to invest in a cryptocurrency that never actually existed? Meet Dr. Ruja Ignatova, the so-called Cryptoqueen, who vanished into thin air with over $4 billion of investors' money, leaving behind one of the largest financial frauds in history. She was brilliant, charismatic, and had multiple degrees from prestigious universities. But behind her polished exterior was a criminal mastermind who orchestrated one of the most elaborate Ponzi schemes ever conceived. Today we're diving deep into her disappearance and the global manhunt that continues to this day. But before we dive in, some of the details in this story are disturbing and may not be suitable for all audiences, so viewer discretion is strongly advised. As always, remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications to stay up to date with the channel. Alright, let's dive into the video. Ruja Ignatova was born on May 30th, 1980, in Ruse, Bulgaria, a gritty industrial town perched on the Danube River, its skyline dominated by factories and the echoes of communist rule. Her family was Romani, a group often marginalized in Eastern Europe facing prejudice and economic hardship. Her father, Plamen, was a mechanical engineer with dreams larger than his paycheck could afford. Her mother, Veska, a nursery school teacher who instilled in Ruja a love for learning despite the scarcity around them. They had a younger son, Konstantin, who would later become a key figure in her downfall. Life in Ruse wasn't easy. Food shortages, power cuts, and the constant hum of a regime on its last legs. But Ruja, she was different. She had a spark, a hunger that set her apart. In 1990, as the Iron Curtain began to crumble, the Ignatova family fled to Germany, settling in the small, orderly town of Schramberg. Picture a 10-year-old girl, uprooted from the chaos of Bulgaria, thrust into a world of precision and discipline. She didn't just adapt, she conquered. In school, Ruja skipped a grade, her teachers marveling at her intellect. They called her the brightest student they'd ever seen, a prodigy with a mind like a steel trap. But her classmates saw something else: arrogance, a cold edge. In a schoolbook entry preserved like a time capsule, she wrote something chillingly self-aware. Always well-behaved and cheerful, faultless. Stop. Maybe we should stick to the truth. Okay, fine. Maybe I did take pleasure in tormenting some students. I was always looking for the chance to spread new, amusing stories about them. It's a glimpse into the manipulator she would become, charming on the surface but with a streak of cruelty bubbling beneath, waiting to erupt. At 18, Ruja earned a scholarship to the University of Konstanz, where she studied private international law. She wasn't just a student, she was a force. She dabbled in politics as a student representative for the Christian Democratic Union, honing her charisma, learning to sway crowds. By 2005, she had her PhD, her dissertation on conflict of laws, a dense, brilliant work that screamed intellect. Then, a master's in European law from Oxford University. Oxford, the pinnacle for an immigrant kid from Bulgaria. She was building an image. Dr. Ruja, the brilliant mind ready to conquer the world, a self-made titan rising from the ashes of her past. But the cracks began to show post-graduation. Ruja returned to Bulgaria, landing a prestigious role at McKinsey & Company's Sofia office. High-powered consulting, rubbing shoulders with elites, advising corporations on strategy. She was in her element until the Great Recession hit in 2009. The Sofia office closed and Ruja found herself adrift. She bought property near Frankfurt, toyed with moving back to Germany, but stayed in Bulgaria. Why? Some say it was an opportunity knocking. Others whisper it was the first stirrings of something darker, a plan taking shape in the shadows. That's when the first red flags emerged. In 2012, Ruja was convicted in Germany for fraud tied to her father's acquisition of a company that went bankrupt under murky circumstances. The details are murky. Allegations of falsified documents, hidden debts. But she received a 14-month suspended sentence, a slap on the wrist that seemed to embolden rather than deter her. Undeterred, she dipped her toes into multi-level marketing. In 2013, she launched Bitcoin, a scam MLM masquerading as a cryptocurrency venture. It flopped spectacularly, but Ruja learned. She saw the gold rush in Bitcoin, the frenzy of digital fortunes, the way people threw money at promises of wealth. And she thought, why not me? Why can't I be the one to cash in? OneCoin was founded in 2014 with Sebastian Greenwood. It was pitched as the Bitcoin killer. Simpler, safer, revolutionary. A cryptocurrency for the masses. Ruja took the stage worldwide, in glittering gowns that shimmered under spotlights, proclaiming with unshakable confidence, in 2 years, nobody will speak about Bitcoin anymore. Investors bought educational packages that included tokens to mine OneCoin. Before we continue on, if you are enjoying the video so far, please remember to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you don't like it, let me know down in the comments. Your support truly means everything. Alright, back to the video. But here's the thing. There was no blockchain, no decentralized ledger, no real mining. It was all smoke and mirrors. A centralized database controlled by Ruja's inner circle, with values manipulated at will, withdrawals blocked, and profits siphoned off. It was a classic Ponzi scheme. New money paid old investors, recruiters earned commissions, and the pyramid grew taller with every sale. The growth was explosive. Offices sprouted in Dubai, Hong Kong, Sofia, gleaming headquarters that screamed legitimacy. Events packed Wembley Arena, where Ruja arrived by helicopter, flanked by burly bodyguards, her presence electrifying. She hobnobbed with celebrities, bought luxury properties, a penthouse in London's upscale Knightsbridge, yachts docked in Monaco, a collection of jewels that could rival a museum. Victims poured in billions, from Chinese tycoons to Ugandan villagers who sold their homes, their livestock, their futures. One story that chills me to the bone. A Scottish woman, Jen McAdam, invested her life savings and those of her friends, losing over £200,000. She later wrote Devil's Coin, a harrowing account of her descent into financial ruin, her voice trembling as she recounted the betrayal. Another victim, a single mother from India, sold her daughter's dowry gold, only to watch her account freeze as Ruja vanished. The human cost is staggering, lives unmoored, families destroyed. But the red flags waved early. Crypto experts called it out. No public ledger, no trading on exchanges, a system opaque as a black hole. In 2016, regulators in the UK, Italy, and Hungary issued warnings, labeling it a scam. Yet Ruja doubled down, suing critics, silencing dissent with legal threats and intimidation. Her brother Constantine took the reins of operations as she stepped back into the shadows, while Sebastian Greenwood, the smooth-talking marketer with a salesman's grin, raked in recruits with promises of millions. By 2017, the walls began to close in. U.S. indictments loomed on the horizon, a storm Ruja couldn't outrun. On October 12th, she was charged in absentia with wire fraud, money laundering, and securities fraud by the Southern District of New York. She was scheduled to speak at a conference in Lisbon but skipped it, her absence a deafening silence. Instead, she flew to Athens, and then poof, gone. Last seen, October 25th, 2017, stepping off that Ryanair flight. Tipped off? Almost certainly. Her American boyfriend, Gilbert Armenta, later cooperated with federal investigators, revealing emails where Ruja plotted an exit strategy with $500 million in hand, stashed in offshore accounts across the globe. The aftermath was chaos. OneCoin collapsed like a house of cards, leaving investors with worthless tokens and broken dreams. Constantine was arrested at LAX in 2019, pleaded guilty, and spilled every detail he knew, hoping for leniency. Sebastian Greenwood was extradited from Thailand, sentenced to 20 years in a U.S. prison in 2023 after a trial that laid bare the scam's inner workings. Victims launched lawsuits, but recovery has been a trickle. Estimates suggest $4 billion lost. Some analysts pushing that figure to $15 billion when accounting for unreported losses. In 2022, the FBI added Ruja to its 10 most wanted list, the only woman on it, with a reward bumped to $5 million as of 2024. German authorities probed money laundering trails. The UK froze assets tied to her network in 2024, and Interpol issued a red notice that went unanswered. But where is she? That's the real mystery, the part that turns this into a puzzle that gnaws at the edges of your mind. Let's explore the theories, because the truth might be stranger than fiction. Theory 1. Murdered. In 2022, Bulgarian investigative journalist Dimitar Stoyanov dropped a bombshell report claiming Ruja was killed in 2018 on a yacht in the Ionian Sea, ordered by a crime boss known as Taki. Real name, Christoforos Nikos Amanatidis. Why? She'd become a liability. Taki, a shadowy figure with ties to the Bulgarian underworld, allegedly protected her, using OneCoin to launder drug money and arms profits. But as US and European pressure mounted, she became a loose end. Stoyanov's sources, police documents, a witness who claimed to see the hit, say Taki had her dismembered, her body dumped overboard. The alleged killer? Risto Hristov, a hitman, now serving time in a Dutch prison. The BBC dug deeper in 2024, linking Taki as her former bodyguard, a man who moved in silence, his presence felt but never seen. A chilling quote from ex-Deputy Minister Ivan Hristanov lingers. Taki is the ghost, you'll never see him. If you don't listen, you just disappear. The image is haunting. A woman, once so powerful, reduced to pieces, lost to the sea. Theory 2. Alive and hiding. The FBI isn't convinced she's dead. They suggest she might be in the United Arab Emirates, Russia, Greece, or Eastern Europe, surrounded by armed guards, her face altered by plastic surgery to evade capture. Sightings pop up like ghosts. Dubai in 2019, Frankfurt in 2021, a blurry figure in South Africa caught on a 2025 YouTube video that's since gone viral. German filmmaker Johann von Mirbach, who's tracked her story for years, told Crypto.news in 2025, "I'm convinced she's alive. Too many false tracks, too many whispers." Russia's a prime suspect. Her ties to oligarchs, her ability to buy silence. Or perhaps she's yacht hopping in the Mediterranean, a ghost in luxury, sipping champagne as the world searches. Theory 3, protected by elites. Whispers on X suggest deeper connections, Bulgarian underworld, global cartels, even corrupt officials. A 2025 post reads, "She's alive, protected by elites in a hidden bunker, laughing at us all." Another figure, Krasimir Kamenov, a kingpin who wanted to aid US probes, died mysteriously in 2023. His death ruled a heart attack despite his youth. Coincidence or a warning? The theory paints Ruja as a pawn in a larger game, shielded by those who profited from her scheme. As of the time of this recording, no breakthroughs. Recent X posts hype the mystery, with users debating her fate, sharing grainy photos, spinning tales. The FBI's tip line buzzes with leads, but silence reigns. A 2025 podcast, The Vanishing Cryptoqueen, revived interest, its host claiming a source saw her in Belgrade. Unverified, of course, but enough to keep the fire burning. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, then check out these videos on the screen now. If you have a topic suggestion, please send it to the email in the description. And as always, remember to like, share the video, and subscribe to our channel. And remember, the only thing scarier than this story is missing out on our next video.